happy Halloween. Welcome to the second annual TCC Halloween Bash. And as you can see, we're all in our costumes, and tonight we are going to indulge in some delicious quizzes and anecdotes and narrations. So let's get started with the party right away. So this is me, Chitra Padmana, and it is him, Ghostface, Niladri Mitra. But today he's not in a mood to say anything. He's just in a mood to give you some scares. Okay. And so
Silent ghost.
he is a very silent ghost today. And if you have seen our previous YouTube videos, I am usually all grins, but this time, unfortunately, my smile cannot be seen. Okay, guys, so let's get started with the party. Let's invite Chandrayan. Please introduce yourself. Today, I think the audience cannot recognize you because you've put on some interesting oil paint or whatever paint you've put on. Please introduce yourself, your books, and share something, a narration or an anecdote.
Okay, my name is Chandrayan Gupta. I am. Yes, it is Ghostface. Shut up. My name is Chandrayan Gupta. I didn't realize this is watercolor. I didn't realize that it would kind of solidify and become sticky. It has now become sticky. So I feel like I can't move my face, but through sheer force of will, I will. I'm a psychological thriller writer, and my books are usually about a private investigator named Radha Bose and her sidekick, based loosely on myself, as in a complete fictionalized version of myself named Aditya Gokhale. And the the USP of the series, apart from the cases themselves, which if I might allow myself a moment of immodesty, are immaculately clever. The other USP is that both, they're actually not immaculately clever. They're both Aditya and Radha are plagued by mental illness. Aditya has depression and anxiety, everything I have, while Radha has what is it called? It was called shell shock during World War One. Now it's all right.
PTSD.
Personalized PTSD. Yes, post-traumatic stress disorder. Right. She
Yes.
has that. You are right. So usually I write about that, but my fourth book, my latest book, has been about a teenager. This time, not at all based on me, and his mother. Thankfully, not my mother, who he suspects is a serial killer because in the neighborhood there are many killings happening, and he finds clues in his own house that the killer might live in this house, and he shares it only with his estranged mother. So the entire book uh, is she not, investigation into whether she is a serial killer, whether she's not a serial killer. In the process, the relationship between a mother and a child is explored, whether there are any boundaries in a mother-son relationship, whether there is anything that can be regarded as taboo between the boy and the woman who brought him into this world. So currently it's sitting at some 4.7, I think, stars on Amazon and Goodreads because it's been reviewed only 5 times. That's why. If it were reviewed 50 times, I think it would be more like 2.58. But that's me, that's my books. I have no spooky stories because I don't believe in the supernatural and I've never really observed anything supernatural. So, bye bye.
Ghost faces worried.
He's making me laugh.
You don't believe in the supernatural. Ooh. Okay, but often real life horror is Okay, so that was from Chandrayan. Now we're about to hear from Anand sir. So he is not in costume, but I'm sure what he has to say would be very appropriate for Halloween because I have heard that Anand sir has had some brushes with the supernatural. Chandran doesn't believe in the supernatural, but Anand Ahuja sir has had some experience with the supernatural. We are waiting to hear your Bhutiya Kissa. So please, sir, go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm so sorry. I didn't get time to do anything. So I think I'm looking like a Halloween. Maybe I would need to be doing some makeup to look human, perhaps. But anyways, it's all about the state of mind. It's not how you look like, but how you think. So this place where I'm sitting right now. This is a room in my like it's an office in my room in my house only. But we see, I am single. I don't have kids, so there's no supposed to be any sounds of babies or children. But sometimes in the night, you hear sounds of a baby crying. There's no reason for it. There's no babies in the neighborhood, and there are no reasons to suspect that there should be some distant sound coming. So far, I've not had anything scary, but the sounds I've learned to ignore them, but they're there. And I got a few more experiences. Maybe I'll tell you one very unique experience. I used to work in a cardiac hospital, and I used to do night shifts in the ICU. And the cath labs or the operation theater complex where we usually operate, they're usually closed at nights. They're locked and closed. We only open them when there's an emergency. So on one of the days, the sister inadvertently, instead of ringing to some other ward, she accidentally rang up the number in the OT complex. And someone picked the phone and started laughing. And yeah, absolutely. And she's scared. The number, there is a display on the intercom which shows that this number is by mistake has been dialed in the OT complex, and she got scared. And she reported to the in charge who was there, and she switched off the call, and she again tried ringing again purposefully, and again she got the same thing, and she came to me. I was there on duty. So I also tried ringing the call, and I also heard the same thing. There's no reason for anyone to say, like, it was closed and shut and locked up. So, we all gathered some 20, 30 people, some 10, 12 nurses, 2, 3 doctors, 4, 5 housekeeping, and 2 or 3 security. And we all went to the OT complex. Let's open the lock and see what's there inside. Our in charge said, we have so many people, we should not be scared. So we opened the OT complex and we went to that telephone, which was, giving this kind of sounds. And we asked one of the sisters to go back and call from there and ring again. We couldn't see anything. There was no one. Again, when she called up, no one was here to pick up the phone, but she again heard the same thing, same sound. It just happened on one night, but it happened 5, 6 times. Never before and never after. Real experiences. I'm not saying heard from someone else. I was there. Chandrayan, what do you say of this?
This literally gave me goosebumps.
It happened, and when this happens, you have no reason, because we are so many, we are slightly scared, but collective वो divide हो जाता है scare कि जो होगा सबके साथ होगा. So we'll see how it comes, but this has happened, and a lot of hospitals have had so many stories. I tell you one more incident. There was one patient who was having he was on a ventilator and he had a cardiac arrest, and the doctor did CPR and they did everything that could be done to revive this patient, but unfortunately the patient died. So we called up the consultant who was in charge of that patient, and the consultant said, this patient is known to me, so आप लोग उसको declare मत करना, मैं आता हूँ and I will come and talk to the relatives and declare that he is dead. And meanwhile it was 8 p.m. and it was time for shift change. So the next night duty doctor came and we gave over to him कि this patient has died. We tried CPR, we could not save him, but declare नहीं करना है क्योंकि सर आएंगे और वो खुद बात करेंगे. Fair enough. And this doctor, like my friend was on call, like he did the CPR. उसका evening duty था. He went away at 8 or 8:10. उसका evening duty होता है 2 to 8 p.m. Again next day evening 2 to 8 p.m. it was his duty, so he came at 2 p.m. and he had to take around one by one of all the beds. So when he reached that particular bed, a patient sat up and said, "How are you, sir? आपने मुझे पहचाना?" And he said, "No, because whenever a person dies, you change and put someone else in that bed after cleaning and all." So he said, "नहीं, I don't know you. Do you know me? Like शायद बाहर कहीं पे मिले हो या कोई रिलेशन हो कुछ." So he said, "नहीं नहीं, मैं यही तो था कल रात, आप मुझे ही तो CPR दे रहे थे." Because after CPR, after the patient was died, सब कुछ disconnect कर दिया था. All the support systems, the ventilator, everything was cut off. सिर्फ declare करना बाकी रखा था.
And the patient was alive?
No, this was another patient, but he said कि आप मुझे ही CPR दे रहे थे कल रात को, आप कैसे भूल गए?
Did he perform CPR on the wrong person?
I have a theory.
No. Yes. Yeah. Tell me.
That person was a cat.
What?
9 lives.
Was it? Good one. But this happened and वो क्या बोला उसको पता नहीं पेशेंट को. फिर बाद में वो जब ठीक हो गया पेशेंट, ICU में से शिफ्ट हो गया, that second patient, when we asked him why did you say all these things, आप तो बाद में admit हुए हो.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know. He said, I don't remember what I said, and he had no memory of whatever he had said. But that doctor got so scared, he didn't do another. He left the job.
I'm not sure, Anand sir, if you're aware of it. Chandrayan might be aware because he stays in Calcutta. There's a very old hospital here called SSKM, PG Hospital. Scary ass place. Seriously.
A lot of hospitals have these story associated. I'm just telling you my personal experiences. I'm not saying वो तो मेरे पास रात भर में सुना सकता हूँ. I'm just telling you real what I have seen, I have faced, and this is not hearsay. And this another government hospital है इधर बड़ौदा में, 1500 beds, very huge hospital, very old, 150 years old hospital. उसका एक मेडिकल का फीमेल वार्ड है. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी ओल्ड बिल्डिंग. इट इज रियली रियली स्कैरी टू इवन गो टू दैट बिल्डिंग. इट्स वेरी डार्क, इट्स नॉट वेरी वेल लिट, एंड इट्स इन वन ऑफ द कॉर्नर्स ऑफ द कैंपस. वेरी वेरी डेजर्टेड प्लेस. रात को सिर्फ डॉग्स होते हैं और कुछ नहीं होता उधर. वहां पर दे से मेरी पोस्टिंग हुई थी उधर. आई वाज पोस्टेड देयर फॉर 6 months. And people wouldn't stay there. They said that some in charge sister थी जो उधर expire हो गई थी, and she is still seen doing the rounds after midnight. I've done duties there. I've stayed at night in the duty होती है तो रुकना पड़ता है. I have not seen anyone or never felt, but the sisters feel that. And there's another sister who had committed suicide at that particular place, and they say that they don't really hurt any doctors or any nurses, but she takes lifts from people who travel. वो वहाँ पर एक रास्ता है जहाँ से आप बाइक चलाते हैं, कार से भी जा सकते हैं. It's also called the jail road. वहाँ पर सेंट्रल जेल है यहाँ की, काफी बड़ी जेल है. I've been through that road. I've never had, but I know people who have been जिनकी गाड़ी में एक लड़की जाके खुद से बैठ गई अपने आप से, एंड ऑटोज में वो बैठ जाती है और वो कुछ कॉइन्स भी छोड़ जाती है. और मेरे कुछ फ्रेंड्स हैं जिन्होंने वो कॉइन संभाल के रखे हुए. सो शी पेज में भी पता नहीं क्यों. वो तो फ्लाई भी कर सकते हैं, पता नहीं उसके फिटबिट में स्टेप्स कंप्लीट नहीं हो रहे हैं शायद. 10,000 स्टेप्स करना है दिन का जरूरी.
Or she has seen डरना मना है, that Vivek Oberoi Nana Patekar story.
Yeah, डरना मना है.
Yeah,
Good.
Seen that. No, actually, we are right about the hospital thing, because as I was saying, this SSK hospital, very old hospital, colonial and all that.
Yeah.
So there is a building, okay, like a 3-4 story building, which is at a corner. Now, I went with someone who was hospitalized very late at night, around 2 o'clock. And they gave me a blood sample and they told me go to this building and submit the sample. they had actually asked me to go to a different building, and I went to this one, the sort of haunting kind of place. Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm climbing up the stairs. It's all dark. It's a colonial building, so it's old. It's damp. It's dark. And I just felt like, in one moment, my body went like it became double the weight. And then in the next moment, it lost all the weight. It was so scary. Nothing really happened. But the feeling was so creepy. I somehow went up to the third floor. There was somebody sleeping there. I woke that person up, and that person told me, no, it's the wrong building. And I think I descended 3 floors in 5 seconds.
Oh, right. Kolkata has a lot of stories. I have friends in Kolkata who tell me similar stories of spooky experiences at workplace, and also in certain streets and areas. They say that known to be haunted. Is that?
Yeah, there are plenty of places. There is a place called Putulbari, which is considered to be haunted. Then National Library
Yeah, National Library.
is considered to be haunted. And then there is a metro station very close to where I used to live, Rabindra Sarovar. The most number of suicides in Calcutta has happened in that station.
Oh,
In fact, one of my childhood friends committed suicide in that very station. So, it's said that when after the last train comes at around 10 or 10:20 at night, shadows can be seen crossing the platforms, stuff and stuff. I don't know. I have never seen. I wanted to, but I've never seen. Yeah, we had planned. Me and my friend, we had planned to go there at night, wait for the last train, and
yeah.
then
I
not
mean,
get on the last train.
oh,
Either-
that's spooky. I have many stories, but maybe I'll pass and let everyone else share. But maybe if time permits, we'll share more afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why don't you write a book about it? True ghost stories.
My next collection is just that.
Nice, nice.
आज मुझे भी नींद नहीं आने वाली शायद.
I think Hitesh and Rekha will not sleep properly tonight. Over to you, Nam. Nam is a cute pumpkin today.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Nam, and I basically also don't really believe in the supernatural that much. I'm not gonna rule things out just in case ghosts turn out to be real and I get haunted, but but yeah, and I generally write about, I guess, usually queer experiences, and I write them mostly in the forms of short stories and poetry. You guys are just having the time of your lives over there. But yeah, so my last short story was published with Gacy magazine. It's called Scylla and Charybdis, and it's about those two Greek mythology monsters and their story. But yeah, that's, I think, about it. And yeah, I don't really have any spooky stories, but I'm having fun listening to the spooky stories because I scare very easily.
What are your favorite poems? Last time you narrated a poem which was brilliant. So I'd love to hear.
Oh yeah. So my favorite poet is Natalie Diaz, and she is a Native American poet, and she writes a lot about love that connects with the land and things like that. She wrote her first collection was actually about her brother and his struggle with addiction and stuff like that. Favorite poems in particular, I think, are more difficult to pin down because there's just so many, and especially but I think recently I read Aga Shahid Ali's Country Without a Post Office, and that was a really beautiful chapbook.
Nice.
There is a poet that you should check out. I love his poems, and I think it's great. The name is Niladri Shekhar Mitra.
Yep, I definitely will.
I can. I'm not this. I'm this person. I can.
Yes.
बाजार खोला है निकले बेचने निकला हूँ.
Okay, coming to Lee. Are you Lee today? I don't think he's Lee today. Who are you today?
Oh,
Okay, oh my goodness. That was quite the scan.
I am L.A. Nolan,
look,
and I am on the precipice of becoming the world's greatest writer. I write horror, thriller, and crime thriller in particular. I've had 2 releases so far, Blood and Brown Sugar and Memoirs of a Motorcycle Madman. My next release, A Crate of Rags and Bones, will launch in December of this year. And I have recently been awarded the Yukioto Emerging Author of the Year Award. I will also, thank you very much. I'll also let the cat out of the bag. Next month, I will be receiving an award from Lit Voice magazine for Best Fiction 2022 for Blood and Brown Sugar. I've had many short stories as well, released too many to bore everybody with. Let's see, scary stories. I actually just, with the Chrysanthemum Chronicles, I just did a video chat and relayed one of my real life spooky stories where we accidentally, in our teens, summoned a ghost. But that's on YouTube on the Chrysanthemum Chronicles, and it's quite a long story, so I won't retell it now. What else? I've been bitten by a ghost in Kujarau. I've actually visited a vampire coven in Belgium. That was quite exciting. There was a period in my early 20s when I was consumed with vampires. I wanted to know all there was to know about vampires. And as such, I joined a few underground sort of chat rooms regarding vampires. And they had an archive, I guess you'd call it, of sorts, where people had listed all of these different experiences they'd had or what they believed to be vampires. And I used to scroll through it and read, various stories here and there. And one that sort of stuck in my mind was about this coven in Belgium, in the city of Bruges. And it was just about, there's a place in Bruges called the Grand Square. And there's an old palace there. It's ringed with restaurants. It's a cobblestone. It's medieval, Victorian, as you'd expect. And there's about 1,000 different alleyways leading off of it. So it was many years later that I was visiting Bruges, and I didn't exactly remember. I actually went to an internet cafe, and alas, the underground site that I'd read about it on was gone. So running strictly on memory, I wandered up and down these little cobblestone alleys. And I had a very vague description of it being a red door, a lantern outside, no window in the door, in between 2 planters or a statue, whatever it was, whatever vague memory I had of what I'd read. I walked for hours, literally hours, and I couldn't find it. And just when I was about to give up, I was heading back to the hotel. I was walking back down another alley that I know I'd walked up and down at least twice. And there it was. It just seemed to spring up out of the cobblestone. And there was this door. So it was one of those moments where you have instant recollection, when you smell something or hear something that takes you back to another place. And the moment that I saw that door, I knew it was what I'd read about. And instant recollection of the description, and it fit it to an absolute T. So it took a while to work up the nerve to actually open the door. I mean, it could have been a private residence. It could have been a shoe store for all I knew. There was nothing. There was no signage on the outside of the door indicating what it was. But I opened it. It was on, and I went in, and there was a dark corridor. So the young lady that I was with, she wasn't having any part of it. So she stood there and held the door open, and that backlit the hallway, at least part of the way down. The hallway must have been, I'm not sure in meters, but in feet, it must have been at least 20 feet. And I walked down the hallway, and as I got closer to the end of it, and the sunlight from the door behind me sort of filtered out, there was a very dim glow inside this. This obviously opened up into a larger room. And there were some hushed voices and some scuffling. And as I poked my head into this large room, it was, I don't want to over dramatize it, but it was what you would imagine a an old room in an abbey or a chapel to be. It was all stone walled. It was very low ceiling. It was very dimly lit. And on the far wall was a wooden bar, a dark wooden bar, old wooden bar. And there was maybe half a dozen tables, and there couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 people. And as soon as I sort of breached the entranceway into the room, everybody and everything stopped, and they all turned to look at me. And even in the dim, and it was very dim. I mean, I want to say it was candlelit, but I honestly didn't stay around long enough to sort of determine where the light was coming from. But it was that dim, and it was a flickery sort of atmosphere and very damp. And all sets of eyes were on me. And someone, and I apologize for the language, but in exact words, someone said, "What the fuck can we do for you?" So it took me all of about 15 seconds to make it back out of the door into the alley. And it was gone. And just as a footnote, 2 days later when we were leaving, when we were heading for the airport, I wanted to cruise past it just again. And I couldn't find the door again. So there's always that.
That was something.
You know, the thing is, the way Lee tells the stories makes it more creepy.
Yeah. Like looking at him right now, it's like,
Yeah, it becomes creepier by the narration.
Well, without the backstory, I mean, for all I know, I just walked into a private gentleman's club for watching football, you know. But with the backstory and with me being thoroughly convinced I was where I was, it was, and Europe creeps me out anyway. So
I have something for Lee. I'm going to narrate his favorite poem, and that is Something Wicked This Way Comes from Ray Bradbury. And I think it's his favorite for the Halloween theme.
absolutely love it. Yeah. Here, let me ask you before you narrate it. That phrase, "something wicked this way comes," by the pricking of my thumbs, "something wicked this way comes." You know who wrote it?
Sorry?
Do you know who wrote it?
Ray Bradbury, right?
Macbeth?
Shakespeare. In
Shakespeare.
Macbeth. Yeah. So that gave the title of the poem, right?
Absolutely.
This one, right?
Also, just to interject, Ghostface, South Africa won.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, people.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Sad Ghostface is so sad. Oh, koi nahi. Okay, so let me narrate the poem. Something wicked this way comes. Crystal water turns to dark, where air its presence leaves its mark, and boiling currents pound like drums when something wicked this way comes. A presence dark invades the fair and gives the horses ample scare. Chaos reigns and panic fills the air when something wicked this way comes. Ill winds mark its fearsome flight, and autumn branches creak with fright. The landscape turns to ashen crumbs when something wicked this way comes. Flowers bloom as black as night, removing color from your sight. Nightmarish vines block your way. Thorns reach out to catch their prey, and by the pricking of your thumbs, realize that the poison numbs. From frightful blooms, rank odors seep. Bats and beasties fly and creep. Across this evil land, ill winds blow. Spite the darkness, mushrooms glow. All will rot and decompose, for something wicked this way grows. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So it's time for the next interesting segment. Today we are launching. Wait, Ghostface. So today we are launching the Nocturnal Echoes. It will be released soon, and we are revealing the cover here. So this is the cover of Nocturnal Echoes. It's our horror anthology, and it's perfect for this season. So do give it a read, guys. It will be available on Amazon, Kindle, as well as in paperback. So we just wanted to share this good news with you. We've had some truly awesome entries. Sadly, we were not able to select all of them, but those that we have are truly the best of the lot. And it's perfect. It has a beautiful mix of everything that a horror anthology should have, you know. And you can hear from Ghostface. He's the editor of the anthology. So your remarks about the anthology, Niladri, Ghostface?
I think this is the first time, I think, in the two anthologies that TCC has published before, Soul Hymns and My Her Sunshine. I think the idea was to have more and more people, more and more contributors. But with Nocturnal Echoes, I decided to be very selective. So I preferred quantity over quality. So again, apologies to anyone that I've rejected, and it was hard. I reached out to them and I personally told them that we'll put those stories in some other anthology, but for this one, we selected only a selected few. And because it's a horror anthology, I'm not supposed to be a contributor here. But being the editor and, but I just go and resist, so I have a story as well in the book. I hope it's good. I'm not sure. It's not as good as Nams or Lee's, but it's good. I hope it is.
Thank you, Niladri. It surely is interesting to launch a horror anthology on Halloween. Yep. Coming to our cute ghost, Preeti. She even has flowers on her head, roses. Hello, Preeti. Please unmute yourself. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi, here I am.
My
And
ghost, welcome.
Now you're a pirate. She's a true ghost.
yes, now I'm a true ghost. I can even vanish. I just realized that.
Yeah.
I do this, I vanish. Yes, see, I'm back.
These are what? Scarred lotuses?
No, these are roses only. Clip art roses, but I had to do something, and I've got one fake rose also here.
That looks like a candy.
It's okay, now I'm fine.
It's actually a pom-pom. Where I've disappeared.
Okay.
Okay, hi, I'm Preeti, and I have to. Oh, okay, I have to introduce myself, right? Yeah, and I have just written.
You have disappeared.
I come back. See, there I am. There, can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I've done all sorts of things on this. So I'm having a blast really with this. And this, I was trying to dress up as a ghost in my book, The Scarred Roses. So I kind of just impromptu tried to change from the Casper to Gulab Rai. So, no, Gulabs.
Oh,
Yes, there I'm back with all sorts of effects. So I've just released a book called The Scarred Roses. I'm visible, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And yeah, it's just been about a month since it's come out, and I'm hoping it kind of has more readership and people do get to read the story of this queen called Gulab Rai. And it's intertwined into a mystery thriller of sorts. So it's what the reviews have been saying is that it's gripping. So now let's hope it grips more people. So that's how it is. And I am actually a scaredy cat. I get scared a lot. And I am actually sitting in the puja room so that no ghosts. Nice, Chitra. No ghosts come and attack me later. And I'm also mumbling prayers every time I hear a ghost story. So I don't know how I'm going to even write a ghost story. But I managed to write two, one in the novel and the other one which I have submitted to Nocturnally Ghost. Looking at your faces, you all are so cute, both of you. Okay, so and that's that, and I'm actually having a lot of fun. Yeah, Hitesh, I can see you now. Okay.
I'm being
Yeah.
more pirate.
Yes, and over to you all. And yeah, as regards ghost experiences, I try to stay away from them. I think the last time I recounted the one which I came perilously close to ghostly experience. So for this time, I have stayed away from all sorts of ghost experiences this time. So I have had none that way, and I've also tried not to listen to ghost stories, except the one of my ghosts who I wrote about. I mean, Gulabrai, who I wrote about. I call her my ghost. So even people are like, so you want people to know more about your ghost, and that sort of a thing. So I hope all of you will pick up the book and read it, because she deserves a look in.
I'm sure many people. Okay, I was on mute. Okay, sure, Preeti. I hope many people read your book. I have read it. It's
Yeah,
trending in the horror category, and it definitely. Oh, don't collide with me.
Huh. Huh.
I'm sure people would really be spooked by all the supernatural elements in your story, and the ghost in your story definitely deserves some respect. And I'm sure she's here to claim that respect in a very different way. So, yeah, Ghostface, you're not scary anymore.
Yeah, I know. He's just too cute. Yeah.
He's like a sulky ghost face.
Yeah, I know. It's like Niladri.
You're cute.
Okay, Ghostface is sulking, and he wants me to narrate a piece that he wrote, and I really like it.
Long time back.
He wrote this piece a long time back, and he
I'll
wants
be very honest, with this mask, I'm not in a position to look anywhere and narrate. Okay, so I'll abstain.
Wait a minute. He wants you to narrate, or you want to narrate?
Oh, no.
I want her to narrate because
no, honey. Okay, so here it goes. He opened the door of his flat and turned on the lights, but they didn't come on. Strange, he thought. How come none of the lights are working? He checked the main fuse, but it was intact. Puzzled, he checked the filaments of the bulbs, but none of them were broken. He felt a little strange. There was a heaviness in the air, a kind of suffocation that was making him feel distorted. He groped his way to the window and opened it. A gust of wind barged in and crashed against his face, and he closed his eyes in relief. But then he had a feeling of somebody watching him, and as he reopened his eyes, he saw her, standing on the hill across his house, a slender, silhouetted figure with her hair flying with the breeze. She stood absolutely still and almost obscured by the darkness, but he could feel her eyes piercing through him. Then suddenly, an ear-splitting humming sound surrounded him, and he slipped into a vortex of purple smoke. The sky outside turned green, and a nauseating stench of rotten flesh emanated from somewhere below. He felt himself falling into an abyss, engulfed in a cocoon of velvety haze. as fragmented pieces of memories flashed through his mind. He heard a sound of shrill laughter break out around him as he kept on falling in the endless pit. And then an echoing voice said through the laughter, "You'll be falling for eternity now. Welcome to my world." The laughter resumed, and the temperature around him kept oscillating every second between burning heat and shivering cold. Looking up, he saw the silhouetted woman staring down at him before she began to manifest into a grotesque form of a giant ball of flesh that hurled itself towards him at a lightning speed before enveloping him within itself. He felt himself to be suddenly slowing down in his descent before finally hitting a soft and rubbery secreted surface. "Welcome to my world," the echoing voice once again came wafting in as the metastasized tumor expanded around him. The end. That was some piece, Niladri. Thank you for letting me narrate.
You should be a ghostwriter, you know.
See, he was a ghostwriter quite some time. His genre is like that.
I was never a ghostwriter. I'm a writer who writes ghost stories. It's a very different
Yeah,
meaning.
exactly. I was
That's for the
about
people.
to.
I can do it.
Oh, I am a ghostwriter. I'll admit to that.
I have not done any ghostwriting.
I have done ghostwriting. I am a writer, not for the ghosts, not for the people.
She writes for ghosts. She holds seances at night. Ghosts come in. They tell her, plot points, and she just goes and writes those stories. Her stories are very otherworldly, fun, fully intended.
Okay. Coming next, Connie, can you hear me? Hi, Connie. Connie, can you hear me?
Hi, I've just been waiting to say hi to you, Chitra. I'm loving the costumes. And my friend Prachi is also here joining in. Hi. And we have a mask ready.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Lovely mask.
Yes.
I
We
love
are
it.
good to go. Yeah.
You guys look awesome. Why did you turn on your videos earlier?
Sorry, we are sort of drinking. So So Prachi wants to read out a story. If we are on, then she would love to. She's a writer also and a poet. So she would love to read out if you want.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Prachi, it's all yours.
Hey guys, happy.
Hi.
So this is a horror story that is already published. It's part of an anthology by this publisher called Heartbeat Games. It's a very short story, but I'm going to read it out. It's microfiction.
Oh, nice.
It's microfiction basically. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
you can go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to start. So the story is titled Chakka. Okay. So I'll start. Okay. Hi, are you all right? She asked me, sitting opposite me in the gents compartment of a Bombay local at 1 in the morning. I must have looked quite a sight. A middle-aged man in formals, laptop bag flung across his shoulder, dabbing his forehead with a kerchief, eyes darting everywhere continuously. In my defense, it was the middle of March in Bombay, and I was scared for my life. I'm okay. Just anxious to get back home, I replied, giving her what I hope was a convincing grin. I see. I, too, am hoping to get back home, she said, smiling. Her voice a deep, rich velvet, somewhat masculine. If I found her comment somewhat odd, I didn't say it, because at that moment a new thought popped up in my head. I knew her from somewhere. She was dressed in a bright green sari with a red blouse, a red bindi on her forehead, her brown eyes coal-lined, a watch on her wrist, and a Gucci tote bag dangling from her arm. Her face was sharp-featured, with a strong jaw and a wide forehead. Myself, Bhaskar Roy, from Bombay Central. I said, "Hello, Bhaskar. I'm Paro." Just then, the train halted at Dadar station, and three men boarded our compartment, wielding hockey sticks and tridents. They saw me before I could make a move. "What, faggot? You thought you'll get away from us?" one of them shouted at me, his eyes glinting with malice as he advanced on me. I had left office long ago and gone to a bar where I'd met someone with whom I'd share a hotel room for 2 glorious hours. Perhaps they were telling me since the bar a known hangout for faggots in double quotes. "And who is this item? Are you into women too now?" asked his companion, leaning at Paro. In that moment, I felt as scared for her as for myself. These men belonged to the Vigilance Squad, a government-approved group who weeded out people deviating from cultural norms. People like me. And Paro was a woman out on her own past. The third assailant, laughing, inserted the business end of his trident beneath the hem of her sari and started raising it. After that, everything happened in a blur. The train started moving. I heard a high-pitched laughter, and a cold sensation spread through my body. I was lifted up in the air. My hands were now talons, slashing at the three assailants. There were screams. Then I was stumbling onto the platform as Bombay Central, covered in blood. Behind me, in the compartment, the three men were shredded to bloody ribbons. Paro was nowhere to be seen. I finally remembered who she was. Months ago, there was a front page headline in the Hindustan Times. Transgender activist Paro Multan murdered brutally on Churchgate-bound local. Alleged role of the Vigilance Squad. The end. Thank you. I hope you guys liked it. You made me cry. Once again, happy Halloween. I am giving it back to Connie.
The images were so good. Why are you flashing it?
It's not.
Connie is overwhelmed.
I am about to cry, yeah, because oh God, yeah, it just Halloween ho gaya abhi. So,
Yeah,
Your
this
makeup
was
looks really pretty.
intense.
thank you, Chitra, for inviting me. This has been so awesome. I miss seeing all of you.
Thank you so much, Connie, for attending. Okay, so
I also have another friend with me, Sneha. You can hi, Chitra. Say hi to her.
Hi, you look beautiful.
Thank you. I'm Motisha Adams. Yeah, we are doing a whole Halloween night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and one more friend now is here. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Nice costume.
Yeah, that's what I said. We are attending this. We are partying and we're also attending this. I told everyone. Yeah.
Okay, so it's time for some quiz now. So let's see if you can answer these questions. Oops, sorry. Oh my gosh. That was real. Some scare. Wait.
Why are there so many icons?
Because Chitra is iconic.
Sorry, guys, sorry. Shut up. Okay.
So far this Halloween, that's the most horrifying thing that I've seen.
Okay, so time for some questions. In which country did Halloween start? Shut up. In which country did Halloween start? Yes, any guesses?
Okay.
England, Russia, Denmark.
Please verbalize your answers. This chat window does not go out in YouTube, so please verbalize your answer.
Yeah, my guess was maybe England.
Okay.
How? Maybe it's UK because earlier it was Samhain.
It was somewhere. It began in Ireland actually. So that's the answer. Ireland.
Close.
You should give options. Then.
Halloween. Okay.
All Hallows Eve.
The word Halloween means what?
Halloween means what?
All Hallows Eve.
All
All
Hallows.
Hallows Eve.
Holy Saints something. Holy Eve.
Yes, it means that. Holy Saints, yes. Shut up.
Halloween Halo. It comes from that, yeah.
Yes.
That's a
Where is Transylvania?
Romania.
Romania. Most specifically in the Carpathian mountain range.
Yep.
There's the next one. In 1973, what was the movie that convinced Americans to throw away their bones?
The Exorcist.
Poltergeist?
The Exorcist.
That is the only movie that I've never been able to finish because it genuinely freaked me out, which no other movie has done.
Not
I watched it when I first watched it when I was 10 years old. Trust me, it was an experience.
Anand Ahuja, I guess. I know some everything, but yeah.
But nothing. Friday the 13th, when I was a kid.
I mean, I
that
really
scene of
could
Jason
be.
going into the water.
I'm like that. Even when I'm so
I did not sleep for 4 or 5 days. Nothing freaked me out like that. And there's something else. There's one more movie that freaked me out, and I'm ashamed to admit it because it was supposed to be a comedy movie. But they put one scene in. It is a Hindi movie called Ishq, and there was a scene of Amir Khan's head turning. I was 5 years old.
So that was pretty frightening. Yeah. Okay. So after this movie, they not only threw away the boards, but there was a significant drop in the sales as well. Okay. This one, everyone.
Macbeth. Macbeth.
Which was say double toilet trouble.
Macbeth.
I have decided to sit here and think of all the wrong answers. So I just said Midsummer Night's Dream. In the previous question, my answer was Jaws. Okay.
Which movie means you have an intense fear of Halloween?
Google it.
No, don't Google it.
Halophobia.
Weenie-phobia.
No.
Phobia of pumpkins.
Namophobia.
What phobia?
Namophobia. Nam.
Okay.
Which phobia means you have an intense fear of Halloween? Samhainophobia.
This is made up only.
Yeah.
We do not want to make any political statements.
Don't say that. Samophobia.
Sam is dressed as pumpkin. That's it. Which country celebrates the Day of the Dead starting at midnight on October 31st?
Mexico.
Yes, Mexico. According to superstition, this is interesting. If you stare into a mirror at midnight on Halloween, what will you see?
Chandrayan.
Don't say that because the answer is very different. Don't say Chandrayan.
I was about to say Chitra.
Night on Halloween, what will you see?
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
No. They say that, okay, should I give out the answer? And then you can say Chandrayan. If you stare into a mirror at midnight on Halloween, you see a somewhat of a shadow of your future wife or husband.
What?
Chandrayan.
On Halloween? That seems so ominous.
Yeah.
Now, Niladri, please say Chandrayan.
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 Please tell me
Okay,
you never
but this
actually seen
means-
my face. on
Yeah, but
Halloween
this
night.
means Chitra and Niladri, like today at midnight, go look in the mirror and confirm this if you guys see each other's faces or not. Like,
Yeah, we should. What if we see Chandrayan?
oh my god.
Well, if you're both looking in the mirror, you're going to see each other's faces. That won't work. You got to use different bathrooms.
Yes. No, but if you both see Chandrayan, then there's something going on there. There's something that needs to be investigated.
It just means my one-way mirror has stopped working.
For
and now they
the, for
can-
the record, I do not have a mirror at home. Sir. I use my front camera of my
If
mobile.
Chandran,
I don't have mirror.
the bloody Mary will be scared.
Okay. What do Halloween colors black and orange signify?
Jack-o'-lantern.
The jack-o'-lantern is for the pumpkin, eh? That you
Where is black in jack-o'-lantern?
black is
They signify fashion.
it does not signify fashion. Black. Any more guesses? Hitesh?
Taxi.
Black is death.
Black is death. Yes. Orange is
Represent cold, dark, and cold.
The orange is for hope.
Neha says autumn. Orange is autumn.
orange is autumn. Orange is for
Orange
harvest.
is
Black
Fanta.
is for death, and orange is for harvest.
Very nice.
Last.
This was the last.
This was the last.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. This was fun.
I won.
You were horrible. Okay, you were absolutely horrible. Ganesh, Hitesh, if you have something to say for us, if you can just.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I just saw your message in the group, readers, leaders, that group. So I
Yes.
just joined in between. I'm really scared of ghost. The moment I
Oh.
joined in between, I thought, how do you know that I'm scared of ghost? I saw people like Chitra and Lee and those. I was really scared what's happening. Then it took me some time to understand what you people are doing. I really enjoyed, there is saying that we can learn the best when there is a fun-filled environment. I think that fun-filled environment, I really, without understanding Halloween, this festival, or I just Googled now, I was not aware what is this term is all about. So I got to know it's a kind of festival. We celebrated 31st evening. But yes, you were enjoying. I was also liking and learning a few things. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ganesh, for dropping in. It was
By
fun.
the way, you are Toastmasters Club. You are part of some Toastmasters Club.
No, we are not part of Toastmasters Club. We are from the Creative Circle. So we hold these book discussions and several other fun meets, book launches, and themed parties for people to come and narrate their experiences. So you can always come into our discussions whenever you want. We'll be sharing the links in the group.
By the way, where are you located? In India or somewhere? Maybe you
Yes, we are in India. Yes, we are in India.
Okay. I'm part of this Ghaziabad Toastmasters Club. I'm part of the leaders group
Oh.
as well. So therefore, I joined your group. Really enjoyed it. Would like to join in future also. So
Thank
you
thank
are writers, authors. Mostly authors are here.
Yes,
Yeah.
mostly authors. We are an authors club, and
I'm not. I kill people.
Okay. So,
yeah, we are writers and book enthusiasts. Yeah.
So I'm from Uttarakhand, that hill station, Uttarakhand, Almora, Nainital. So there, people believe in ghosts and all those things. And during my childhood, my grandparents used to tell me those stories of ghosts and don't go there during midnight, don't go there in the evening, don't come Alur from that way. So I'm really scared of ghosts. In Delhi, I'm not that afraid, but today it scared me by seeing you and the meeting itself.
Now
Man
stop
is
with the
holding a
spider. It's
spider.
freaking me out.
Very cute spider.
Hmm?
Thank you so much, Ganesh. Hitesh, last words.
Yeah, last words, but I need more time.
You need more time.
Yeah, I have a story that I wrote, and it's a short story, but it's long.
Okay. Okay, please go ahead.
A short story that is long. It sounds
Yeah,
like
it's-
oxymoron.
It's a long short story.
So,
Halloween. Everywhere we see.
At which point does it become a medium story?
That's right in between
The
short.
point where you
Long.
narrate it fast.
Yo, it's in Hindi, so I will narrate it fast.
This feels
Don't
like
worry.
going to the Domino's app. This is regular, this is large. Where is medium?
Okay, so
Okay, go
here
ahead,
is.
go ahead. It's in Hindi, so
हाँ जल्दी थोड़ा
whenever
जल्दी
you don't
करो.
understand, ask.
Lee knows better Hindi than me.
Come on.
Yeah. Ask him.
Who doesn't know Hindi except
Leaders.
Lee? It's okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. ये बात तब की है जब मैं अपनी ग्रेजुएशन कर ही रहा था, तो मैंने घर से बाहर कदम निकाला ही. तो घूमने फिरने का मुझे बहुत शौक था और ऐसी कोई जगह नहीं थी जो मैंने घूमने फिरने के बजाय छोड़ी हो. तो कहीं से मुझे एक पास वाले गांव के बारे में पता चला जिसको लोग पहाड़ी वाला गांव कहते थे वहां का सूर्यास्त बहुत ही मन लुभाने वाला होता है. तो मेरा हृदय भी मचल उठा वहां जाने के लिए. मैं एक दिन मुझे मौका मिला और मैं अपना बैग उठा के उसमें कुछ सामान डाल करके निकल पड़ा और शाम होते होते मैं उस गांव तक पहुंच गया. तो वहां जब सूरज ढल रहा था तो वहां का नजारा ऐसा था, मेरे मन में और चारों तरफ हरियाली और ऑरेंज लाइट ऐसे पड़ रही थी जैसे स्वर्ग यहीं पे है. फिर मैं उस नज़ारे का वहां पर खड़ा होकर आनंद लेता रहा और देखते ही देखते अंधेरा हो गया. फिर मैं घर तो नहीं जा सकता था, लेकिन मैंने सोचा इस गांव में ही एक कहीं ना कहीं रुकने का ठिकाना ढूंढा जाए. तो उस गांव की तरफ बढ़ा और गांव के अंदर घुसा ही तो देखा वहां उस गांव में कोई भी लाइट नहीं जल रही थी. चारों तरफ अंधेरा ही था. सिर्फ झिंगुर की आवाजें ही थी जो मुझे उस गांव में आगे बढ़ने के लिए हिम्मत दे रही थी. मैं उस गांव के अंदर पहुंचा और इधर उधर देख रहा था तो तभी एक पीछे से आवाज आई, आ गए तुम. मैं पीछे मुड़ा तो देखा एक बुढ़िया जिसके फेस पे स्किन लटकी हुई और फटे हुए कपड़े पहने हुए मेरे सामने खड़ी थी. तो मैं बोला कि मैं क्या क्या अम्मा जी, मैं कुछ समझा नहीं, लगता है आपको कुछ गलतफहमी हो गई. वो बोली कुछ गलतफहमी नहीं होती, तुम्हें तो यहाँ आना ही था. मैं अपना रास्ता बदला और वहां से चलने लगा. फिर उसने अपनी छड़ी मेरे आगे लगा दी और बोली कहाँ जा रहे हो, यहीं रुको. मैं हड़बड़ाहट में रुक गया और वो मेरा हाथ पकड़ के एक मंदिर के सामने ले गई जो एक बहुत पुरानी टूटी हुई इमारत था. मैंने जब वहां नजारा देखा तो गांव के सभी लोग एक जादुई फंदे में फंसे हुए थे और वह फंदा उनको बारी बारी से कस रहा था. हर सेकंड वो उनको मार रहा था. वह नजर देख मेरे पैरों के नीचे जमीन खिसक गई और मैं ये देख के चुप का चुप रह गया. फिर वह बुढ़िया बोली ये सभी लोग एक शाप के चलते इस फंदे में फंसे हुए हैं. तुम मेरी आवाज सुन सकते हो, इसलिए तुम ही हो जो इन्हें बचा सकते हो. मैं डर गया और बोला मैं कैसे बचा सकता हूँ अम्मा जी, मैं तो एक सीधा साधा सा लड़का हूँ. बोली नहीं, तुम ही बचा सकते हो. तो मैं वहां से ये कहकर चलने लगा कि मुझे नहीं पता, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता. लेकिन मैं जैसे ही मुड़ा तो उस गांव से बाहर निकलने का कोई भी रास्ता नहीं था. मैं चारों तरफ घूमा रास्ता ढूंढने के लिए, लेकिन मुझे कोई भी रास्ता वहां से निकलने का नहीं नजर आया. तभी वह बुढ़िया फिर से मेरे सामने आके तो फिर बोली तुम यहाँ से बाहर नहीं जा सकते, अब तुम ही हो जो इन सबको बचा सकते हो. तो मैं कुछ देर रुका, इधर उधर देखा और फिर मैंने पूछा ये सब लोग इस स्थिति में कैसे पहुंचे. तो उस बुढ़िया ने बताया कि एक ब्राह्मण इस गांव में आए थे जिसका इन्होंने इन सब लोगों ने बड़ी ही निरादरता से अपमान किया था. तो उस ब्राह्मण ने इनको एक श्राप दिया था जिसके चलते ये इस फंदे में फंसे हुए हैं. तो मुझे क्या करना होगा अम्मा जी. तो बुढ़िया ने बताया यहाँ से कुछ दूर उस पहाड़ी पर आज की रात पूर्णिमा की रात होगी तो तुम्हें वहां पर एक फूल खिलेगा जिसको जल पुष्प कहते हैं, वो तोड़ कर लाना होगा और इस मंदिर की दहलीज पर रखना होगा। लेकिन ये काम करने के लिए तुम्हें सिर्फ 30 मिनट ही मिलेंगे। तो फूल को तोड़ने के बाद तुम्हारे पास सिर्फ 30 मिनट होंगे इस गांव तक पहुंचने के लिए। तो मैं घबराया और फिर मैं वहां से चलने लगा, लेकिन बुढ़िया ने एक पोटली मेरे हाथ में थमाई और वह कहकर गायब हो गई कि जाओ। मैं उस पहाड़ी की ओर बढ़ा और बढ़ता गया। वहां तक पहुंचते पहुंचते मुझे रात हो गई थी और पूर्णिमा की रात को आधी रात होने वाली थी। तो बिल्कुल अंधेरा था, मुझे वहां पर कुछ नहीं दिख रहा था। फिर मैं धीरे धीरे उस पहाड़ी की चोटी पर पहुंचा तो एक रोशनी मुझे दिखाई पड़ी। मैं उस रोशनी के पास पहुंचा तो देखा वहां पर एक बहुत ही सुंदर फूल खिला हुआ था, जिसकी रोशनी चारों तरफ उजाला कर रही थी। मैंने उस फूल की तरफ बढ़ा तो कुछ आवाजें मुझे सुनाई देने लगी, जैसे पहाड़ियों में कोई है। और जैसे ही मैं उस फूल की तरफ को बढ़ता रहा, वो आवाजें तेज होने लगी। और जैसे ही मैं उस फूल के पास पहुंचा तो पीछे से मेरे ऊपर कुछ झपटा। तो देखा वहां पर वो भेड़िए थे, वेयरवुल्फ, चारों तरफ उस फूल के मंडरा रहे थे। मैं नीचे गिर गया और उनमें से एक भेड़िया मेरे ऊपर झपटने वाला था। तो मैंने उस पोटली में हाथ डाला तो देखा एक चांदी का चमकता हुआ खंजर उस पोटली में था। और मैंने वो खंजर अपने सीने से लगा के आगे कर दिया और वह खंजर उस भेड़िए की छाती में गड़ता हुआ घुसता हुआ चला गया। तो एक भेड़िया मर गया, लेकिन सभी भेड़िए मुझ पर हमला करने के लिए बार बार उछल रहे थे, कूद रहे थे। और मैंने तभी उस फूल को वहां से तोड़ा और मैं भागा, गांव की तरफ भागा। भेड़िए मेरे पीछे भाग रहे थे मुझ पर हमला करने के लिए, लेकिन मैं इतनी फुर्ती से, इतनी तेजी से भाग रहा था कि मुझे पता नहीं क्या हो रहा था। भेड़िए मुझे पकड़ने वाले थे। मैं गांव की दहलीज में घुसा और मैं उस मंदिर के पास गया तो उस फूल को मैंने उस मंदिर की दहलीज पे रखा ही था। तो देखा कुछ नहीं हुआ, कुछ नहीं हुआ। मैंने समय देखा तो समय गुजर चुका। मैं अपने घुटनों के बल गिर गया और चिल्लाने लगा, आ! फिर मेरे कुछ आंसू उस मंदिर की दहलीज पर गिरे और रोशनी की तरह चमकने लगे। धीरे धीरे पूरा मंदिर जगमग हो गया और सभी लोग उस फंदे से मुक्त हो गए और सभी मुझे अपने गोद में उठाकर कहने लगे, ये दैट्स इट। और तभी तभी रोशनी हुई, मेरी आंखें रोशनी से भर गई और पीछे से मम्मी ने चिल्लाया, उठ जा, कब उठेगा ना हरामखोर। तो मैं उठ गया। Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Oh my god, it was a dream. Good one, Hitesh. Nice narration.
Yeah, very good, very good. Damn, is there a skull with a mohawk? Okay, so you got.
Yeah. So we're going to wrap it up, but before that, let me just narrate it just to keep the spirit alive. Ghost House by Robert Frost. I dwell in a lonely house I know that vanished many a summer ago and left no trace but the cellar walls and a cellar in which the daylight falls and the purple-stemmed white raspberries grow. O'er ruined fences the grapevine shield, the woods come back to the mowing field. The orchard trees, grown one copse of new wood and old, where the wood, the footpath down to the well is healed. I dwell with a strangely aching heart in that vanished abode there far apart, on that disused and forgotten road that has no dust bath now for the toad. Night comes, the black bats tumble and dart. The whippoorwill is coming to shout, and hush and cluck and flutter about. I hear him begin far enough away, full many a time to say his say.
before he arrives to say it out. It is under the small, dim summer star. I know not who these mute folk are, who share the unlit place with me. Under the low-limbed tree, doubtless bear names that the mosses mar. They are tireless folk, but slow and sad, though too close keeping are lass and lad, with none among them that ever sings, and yet in view of how many things, as sweet companions as might be had. So thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Happy Halloween. Please do share this with your friends, like, share, and subscribe. And we'd be coming up with more such interesting content in future, and definitely more seasonal parties. This has been great fun. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined in, everyone who's watching. Happy Halloween to you.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. It was really nice being here with everybody, hearing all the spooky stories.
Happy Halloween.